Hello, Mark Konlock, Director of Horticulture at Green Bay Botanical Garden, and I'm here with you in the beautiful month of September. Why? Because it's a great time to seed grass. So if you have damaged areas in your turf grass from this really dry season we've had in the summertime, it's really easy to reestablish turf grass, and this is the time of the year to do it. Why? Because the soil is still warm, so the seed will germinate. Air temperatures are cooler, so it will be less frequent watering necessary. So there's a couple of really easy steps to do. The first thing you want to do is prepare your seed bed. So take a good old garden rake and rough up the soil surface. You want to scratch it up so that your seed will contact the soil really nicely. And you also want to get rid of any compacted areas too. So if it's really compacted, you might have to dig it up a little bit, but typically the garden rake is the tool to use. Then you want to put your seed down. Now the thing to remember about seed is that if you have a real sunny area versus a real shady area, you have to use different types of seed. So make sure you look at the bag. It will list the different kinds of seed on there. If you have a sunny area, you want about 60% Kentucky bluegrass cultivars, 30% fescues, and 10% perennial rye. If it's a shady area, you want kind of the flip of that, which is 60% fescues, 30% Kentucky blue, 10% perennial ryegrass. Then, how to spread it and how much to spread. If it's an overseeding project, you want about 2 to 3 pounds per 1,000 square feet. If it's a new grass, 4 to 5 pounds per 1,000 square feet. The bag will typically tell you the setting on a broadcast or drop seeder that you need. Otherwise, you can eyeball it and it has a little picture on the bag to tell you how much to put. So, if you have a small area, you can just use your hand and kind of spread it out like this. If you have a bigger or medium-sized area, I guess you could use this, or even a big area, hand crank seeder. Or if you have a humongous area in your whole lawn, you can probably use one of these drop or broadcast seeders. It'll speed up the process for you. Then, the thing we like to do here is take the back side of a garden rake. Typically, you're always using the front side, so this gives it a little bit more exercise, those other muscles that aren't used. And just kind of scratch and rake with the back side of the rake to get about half of the grass seed covered with soil. The other half is exposed to light, and it kind of helps contact the seed to the soil. Then the final step is watering. So with a newly established seeding, you want to water. If it's a small area, you can use a wand or your hose. If it's a really large area, you want to use an impact sprinkler probably, or something like this that can cover a huge area. And at first you want to just water a little bit to have the seed take in water and start to grow. You might have to do it a couple times in the day to keep the soil and the seed bed wet. Once the grass starts growing like it has up here, you can taper back on your waterings, but you want to do more watering to get deeper water into the ground so that the roots chase that down and establish themselves and are more drought tolerant for next year, so that you don't have to do this again. So once again, seeding, September, great time. Do it now, do it like this, you'll have a great green lawn for this fall and into next year. That's the tip of the day. Enjoy!